ancestors. Yes. Peace to Dr. Cornel West. Yes. Peace to the movement. Yes. We came from the bottom. Ever since they got us, we've been going through these problems. 400 years behind and it's no promise that we gon' never actually be equal, to be honest. It's messed up how they put us in chains, kidnapped our language and changed our names. But when we speak Ebonics, then they call it a shame. They leave us with a couple options, rob us, slang, now we locked up again. How much can our skin take? We went from slaves to inmates, carrying the weight of the 50 states. Working your forms, black nannies carrying white babies in their arms. Black men sacrifice their lives in your wars, but you don't never show appreciation here at home. You treat us so damn wrong, you act like you hate my race. The police, they just beat us in the streets like an 808 bass. America, when will you defend my case? You never will, cause your freedom is fake. I'm only living here cause I wanna get paid enough to round up all my family and shake. Get up, 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 get up.
They done tore down all the PJs in my barrio. Gang units for worst case scenarios. Might work till a couple of quirks. Can't call it pancake cause you're poor and syrup. It's a whole lot bigger than a pretty new house, especially when the rodent's still running about. P. Diddy running marathons, raising dough. That's going to the school where the tax money go. Homeland Security, now there's a phenomenon. Pacifying folks by hanging Saddam. Troops still riding, still obliging, still no Bin Laden. Tuned in waiting for the president's announcements. No 40 acres, take these 40 ounces. We ain't gon' get on the levees. Revolution televised early. Is you ready?
Why you wanna treat me so cold, America? I done gave you all that I own, America. Took me from my mama so young, America. Locked me up and gave me your name.
Steady being forced to climb instead of have your back heavy, be done lost your mind. Especially when you done been down for so much time. Getting up don't even really ever cross your mind. You got pawn shop, gun shop, liquor store sign, SWAT team, crack fiend, unemployed line. Stay late, dollar short, trying to buy time. What we do to survive is defined as a life of crime. You can't ball, then you forced to grind. If you fall, then you cross the line. And I've been putting in work from 9 to 5 and 5 to 9. Since phone calls cost a dime. What it made me is one of the relevant, highly intelligent brothers, not only dealing with that same drug selling. If I'm a hustler, then what's more American? We all founded on the same thug heritage.
Why you wanna treat me so cold, America? I done gave you all that I own, America. Took me from my mama so young, America. Locked me up and gave me your name.
America, 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 you know the black freedom movement, constitution, moral conscience. You know we've been trying to redeem the soul of the nation, even as that nation been trying to render us soulless. But we're our soulful people, the blues people. We've been keeping alive the bloodstained banner of democracy. Thank God for those who came before. We shall never forget them and always move forward with grace and dignity.
America, why you wanna treat me so cold, America? I done gave you all that I own, America. Took me from my mama so young, America. Locked me up and gave me your name, America. Why you wanna treat me so cold, America? I done gave you all that I own, America. Took me from my mama so young, America. Locked me up and gave me your name.
Get me back on track.
sisters. Yes. Peace to Dr. Cornel West. Yes. Peace to the movement. Yes. We came from the bottom. Ever since they got us, we've been going through these problems. 400 years behind and it's no promise that we gon' never actually be equal, to be honest. It's messed up how they put us in chains, kidnapped our language and changed our names. But when we speak Ebonics, then they call it a shame. They leave us with a couple options, rob or slang, now we locked up again. How much can our skin take? We went from slaves to inmates, carrying the weight of the 50 states. Working your forms, black nannies carrying white babies in their arms. Black men sacrifice their lives in your wars, but you don't never show appreciation here at home. You treat us so damn wrong, you act like you hate my race. The police, they just beat us in the streets like an 808 bass. America, when will you defend my case? You never will, cause your freedom is fake. I'm only living here cause I wanna get paid enough to round up on my family and shake.
Get up, 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 get up.
They done tore down all the PJs in my barrio. Gang units for worst case scenarios. Might work till a couple of quirks. Can't call it pancake cause you're poured some syrup. It's a whole lot bigger than a pretty new house, especially when the road.
Dr. Cornel West. Yes. Peace to the movement. Came from the bottom. Ever since they got us, we've been going through these problems. 400 years behind, and it's no promise that we gon' never actually be equal, to be honest. It's messed up how they put us in chains, kidnapped our language and changed our names. But when we speak Ebonics, then they call it a shame. They leave us with a couple options: rob or slang. Now we locked up again. How much can our skin take? We went from slaves to inmates, carrying the weight of the 50 states. Working your forms, black nannies carrying white babies in their arms. Black men sacrifice their lives in your wars. But you don't never show appreciation here at home. You treat us so damn wrong. You act like you hate my race. The police, they just beat us in the streets like an 808 bass. America, when will you defend my case? You never will, cause your freedom is fake. I'm only living here cause I wanna get paid enough to round up on my family and shake.
Get up, 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 get up.
They done tore down all the PJs in my barrio. Gang units for worst case scenarios. Might work till a couple of quirks. Can't call it pancakes cause you're poor some syrup. It's a whole lot bigger than a pretty new house, especially when the rodent's still running about. P. Diddy running marathons, races though. That's going to the school where the tax money go. Homeland Security, now there's a phenomenon. Pacifying folks by hanging Saddam. Troops still riding, still obliging, still no Bin Laden. Tuned in, waiting for the president's announcements. No 40 acres, take these 40 ounces. We ain't gonna get on the levees. Revolution televised early. Is you ready?
Why you wanna treat me so cold, America? I done gave you all that I own, America. Took me from my mama so young, America. Locked me up and gave me your name.
Steady being forced to climb instead of have your back, have you done lost your mind? Especially when you done been down for so much time. Getting up don't even really ever cross your mind. You got pawn shop, gun shop, liquor store sign, SWAT team, crack fiend, unemployed line. Stay late, dollar short, trying to buy time. What we do to survive is defined as a life of crime. You can't ball, then you forced to grind. If you fall, then you cross the line. And I've been putting in work from 9 to 5 and 5 to 9. Since phone calls cost a dime. What it made me is one of the relevant, highly intelligent brothers, not only dealing with that same drug selling. If I'm a hustler, then what's more American? We all founded on the same thug heritage.
Why you wanna treat me so cold, America? I done gave you all that I own, America. Took me from my mama so young, America. Locked me up and gave me your name.
America, 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 you know the black freedom movement, constitution, moral conscience. You know we've been trying to redeem the soul of the nation, even as that nation been trying to render us soulless. But we're our soulful people, the blues people. We've been keeping alive the bloodstained banner of democracy. Thank God for those who came before. We shall never forget them and always move forward with grace and dignity.
America, why you wanna treat me so cold, America? I done gave you all that I own, America. Took me from my mama so young, America. Locked me up and gave me your name, America. Why you wanna treat me so cold, America? I done gave you all that I own, America. Took me from my mama so young, America. Locked me up and gave me your name.
Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you so very, very much tonight on a powerful show we have for you tonight, ladies and gentlemen. My name is James Cannon, and I'm so excited tonight because, ladies and gentlemen, you've tuned in. And as our host comes to the table, Dr. Mary Lee, y'all, you're going to be excited for what she's going to be bringing to you tonight. I'm excited, ladies and gentlemen, for a whole lot of reasons. Even though we got a lot of stuff going on across the country, We could talk about all of that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm excited because we got a movement going on, and hopefully I'll get a chance to tell you about what we're doing with the Stop the Hating movement. But tonight I've got to bring in a very powerful gentleman from the city of Bakersfield, Dr. Greg Tatum. You're going to love his style as he introduces our host to the show tonight. Dr. Tatum is a powerful, powerful young man down in the city of Bakersfield who is powerfully running for city council there. You got to know this mover and shaker. You got to know this gentleman. He goes all the way back into the civil rights days, but he also walked with powerful people like Tupac. And ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure for me to be able to say, Dr. Tatum, I appreciate you as a friend, and I appreciate you tonight, sir. Thank you for coming to the show tonight and co-hosting. And with that, in the event that I may have moved a little prematurely, I'm going to bring powerful, powerful Miss Annetta Bryan to the table. And please forgive me, the last name, it slipped my mind. I'm so sorry. Forgive me. But bring to the table Miss Annetta, and she will go into bringing in Dr. Tatum, I believe. I appreciate y'all so very much. We were incredible people. We've been through an incredible 400 years. And it's left up to our young people to pick up the baton and take it to the next level. Hopefully they won't pick up the baton and destroy it. Hopefully they won't pick up the baton and drop it. We're expecting them to take it to the next level. Annetta, we appreciate you tonight.
Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Mr. Cannon. And I know it's new, but it's Jabari, Annetta Bryant Jabari.
I'm sorry.
And
it's
sorry,
just Annetta Jabari.
Okay,
I'm so sorry.
Forgive
me.
No worries.
And Miss Annetta has a powerful movement called Just Breathe, y'all. You need to know that because we're all going through times right now where we need to learn to breathe. And some of us are rushed to hospitals in with professional people, and we don't know how to talk to those people. But Miss Annetta Jabari is right there in a powerful movement that's going to go across the nation and help everybody because all of us are going to be called in at a time where we're going to need somebody by our side that knows that language, that knows that lingo, and can kind of help us over our rough spots, the evil days, if you will. Miss Annetta Jabari, powerfully with a program, Just Breathe. Share with us. Appreciate you tonight.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Cannon. And, again, Dr. Mary Lee, for allowing me to come in and represent the collaboration between what Mr. Cannon here and his son Nick have allowed us to be able to do, to collaborate across the country with the incredible 400 years. It's a campaign that will allow people to come together. As a people, we need more and more to be connected to every vine. So we are honored to be able to partner in with NCI, Neighborhood Commerce Institute, under the direction of Dr. Mary Lee and the CEO there, Jason Williams. And, again, Dr. Tatum as the co-host, I tell you, another powerful brother. Thank you so much for that, Doctor. And what we want to do is just kind of give you an idea of what we're doing together as we collaborate, these radio podcasts and other areas of the country that we're touching and pulling together. But the incredible 400 years was developed in Washington, D.C., where Nick went in and took the platform there at the U.S. Capitol and accepted the call to be the ambassador and the chair for our nation to write a new history. So in order to do that, he needs each and every one of us. And Mr. Cannon has a slogan that he has used on numerous occasions, and we have it noted as such. None of us are as good as all of us. Together we can do more. So as a people, with the times that we're dealing with right now, and I believe it's a positive movement that we're operating within. It may seem like we've got a lot of things hitting us at once, but this is an opportunity for us to write a new history. So I think we've developed some collaborations with NCI, Dr. Mary Lee's company. She's the founder there, where they go into our neighborhoods, and now we see and recognize the neighborhood is so powerful. So by going into these neighborhoods, bringing out the entrepreneurs, connecting them to that vine, with the incredible 400-year campaign, letting us know what our doctors are doing. Let us know what our attorneys and lawyers are doing. Let us know what our educators are doing, letting us know what our students are doing. Teachers, we've got so much that we have to write as our new history. And I'm just honored and excited to be able to help facilitate that opportunity with the collaborations. And thank you again, James Cannon, for allowing us to bring that vision to fruition throughout the nation and allowing us to collaborate in such a way that we've never done before. So we're pretty excited, and I just want to take this opportunity. I'm not certain, Mr. Cannon, I think you have access to the switchboard. Is Dr. Tatum on the line? Is he available?
I believe he is. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to hand it back over to Dr. Tatum, and he can introduce Jay, the CEO of Neighborhood Commerce Institute, which is Dr. Mary Lee's foundation and company that she's allowing entrepreneurship. So we're doing the incredible 400 years of entrepreneurship, utilizing that collaboration with Dr. Lee. So thank you so much for your time. I'm looking forward to an exciting show and the special guests that we have on our panel today. And I look forward to hearing from you all. If anybody has a pen, jot down incredible with an N. It's the letter N, C-R-E-D like David, I-B-L-E. 400years.com. Again, that's incredible, 400years.com. And there you'll see some of the relationship to what we're doing and writing our new future, our new history, and the collaborations there with NCI. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Sister Arnetta Jabari and Mr. James Cannon. I'm Dr. Tatum, a co-host working on this incredible program with these beautiful people. With Dr. Lee, 400 years of entrepreneurship, and I'm going to be bringing on Mr. Jason Williams in a second. We have a great show tonight. We're going to be talking with Orin Checkmate Hudson. He'll be the host guest tonight, so we're going to be looking forward to that. At this time, I want to bring Mr. Jason Williams. He is the collaborative for Neighborhood Collaborations. He will be talking to you about that organization, how it's helped many across the United States and is open to help many more. Mr. Jason Williams.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for the introduction, Dr. Tatum. Good to see everybody on, Mr. Cannon, Arnetta, Dr. Lee. So we're looking for a great show tonight. As it was mentioned, I'm the CEO of Neighborhood Commerce, where we really want to come in and be hands-on with aspiring entrepreneurs, small businesses, our community, our people who want to get out here and really do business and really set the footprint. And we really want to take back some of these territories and insert ourselves and make sure that we're accounted for when we're doing this business in America. Here at Neighborhood Commerce Institute, the way that we like to do that is we like to take care of your business. We want to make sure that you can actually go out and do work and not be stressed with the everyday things that, the business care of. So we want to take care of your financials, the legalities, your marketing, anything, small things down to your website, the social media. If you want to blow up and go out here and create affiliate programs so you can be out here in, like 12 different states all across America, those are things that we can do for you. But the main focus is making sure that our people are financially secure, and we're making sure that we're passing this wealth on and making sure that we're passing on this information to our youth and those that are interested. So I appreciate Dr. Lee for giving me the opportunity to be her CEO and kind of be on the ground in these different places and connecting the dots, and we're here for you. Throughout this show, if you have any questions that you would like to text, we have a phone number, and that's 984-207-0703. Feel free to text that or press the number 1 anytime during the show, and they'll give us an alert to get you live and let us hear your comment or your question. Without further ado, I want to introduce Dr. Mary Lee, our host for tonight.
Thank you so much. I thank all of you for your time. I certainly appreciate you. I want to welcome to all our family and friends who have joined us tonight. I want you all to know how much I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Mr. Cannon, Annetta, Dr. Tatum, Jason, and our behind-the-scenes staff. I working on technology. I certainly do appreciate you all so very, very much. And our special guest tonight, which we'll get to in just a little bit. I'm excited, very, very excited about our show tonight. And I do have, let's see, I got a little quiz that we're going to do. I might wait until we have a few more people on board before we do the quiz. But got a quiz that we're going to do tonight. And it's just going to be a little $25 gift certificate that will be provided to the first person who provides the correct answer by text. And so if you didn't get that text number again, now this text number is for if you have a question or a comment and you press 1 and we don't get to you for either a technical reason or any other reason, you can dial 1-984-244-0703. Now, that is the same number that you will dial to text your answer to this quiz, okay? And the $25 will be a gift certificate. And who knows, somebody might donate, and it might be more than $25. But it will be a gift certificate that you will use to support a Black-owned business. And so you will tell us which Black-owned business you want to go to spend your gift. So, again, that number is, and I always got to look for it. I shouldn't have to. It's 984-244-0703. Okay, as I said earlier, I'm very, very excited about, and I'm very honored to introduce a friend, a colleague, and a very important person in this country, and someone who's very well known, throughout various parts of the world. He has a very, very unique technique for changing the lives of children, youth, and adults as well, just nationwide with his game. Orrin Checkmate Hudson is a former Alabama State Trooper, Air Force veteran, and a world-renowned chess champion. He is the author of the #1 Amazon bestseller, One Move at a Time, How to Win at Chess and Life. He is a captivating speaker, facilitator, and is the founder of Be Someone. Be Someone is a Georgia-based nonprofit which provides a youth-focused leadership skills development program on how to win in life. How to win in life. And that we really need to know how to do in our current climate of racism. And he's going to talk about all of this, how to cope with our current climate psychologically and mentally and within. His formula using the chessboard teaches that for every move that is made, whether it's playing a game or living as a contributing citizen, there is a corresponding positive or negative consequence. And we know what that means. We always talk about, there are consequences to what you do, to your actions. And so, we're gonna get into that. He's gonna get into this. Mr. Hudson has traveled across America successfully, providing his unique, exciting, and engaging curriculum to over 55,000 young people. Support for his organization has included Jane Fonda, Tyler Perry, Steve Harvey, as well as many other celebrities. He has appeared on Good Morning America, the CBS Early Morning Show, CNN, Fox and Friends, and has been on the cover of the world's largest chess magazine, Chess, Life, and People. Mr. Hudson and his Be Someone organization has also been featured on the Tom Joyner Morning Show in USA Today, Essence Magazine, Sports Illustrated for Teens, Jet, Black Enterprise, and Time Magazine for Kids. His ultimate vision is to serve 1 million at-risk students using his motivating mantra: get your heads up, hands up, and grades up. And most of all, to never give up, no matter what. No matter what. And so I'm so excited. We're going to ask that everyone feel free to join the conversation. Absolutely feel free. And I do want to take just one more second to give special thanks again to Mr. James Cannon, who is the visionary behind the 400 Years of African American History Commission, the front and the center of community development. His goal is to continue inspiring and developing the calling of just ordinary people, whether young or retired. He's the father of Nick Cannon, the National Ambassador for the 400 Years of African American History Commission, and major sponsor. Okay, and I'd just like to say, and of course, Orrin, I know you know all of this, but I just want to say that, this is very important how we're making demands of we're making demands for change, as a response to the killing, the murder of our George Floyd. And in making those demands for change, there have been a lot of responses, but as a people, we do need to also, hone in within ourselves to understand, where we fit in. And tonight, Orrin is going to share with us how just the game of, I won't say just the game of chess, but the game of chess is so important. And we're dealing with, the pandemic of COVID-19. Not only that, we're dealing with the pandemic of racism. Racism as a public health, crisis, in my opinion. And it has been declared a community health crisis in a number of cities. And there are lots of changes taking place. So we want to be ready emotionally, physically, mentally, to be able to capitalize or be able to adapt, to work towards and insist, continue to demand, these changes. Now, the game of chess, there are two opinions going here, okay? One that was given to us by the Europeans. I don't believe anything that has come from any European. I'll let you know that right now. If it has anything to do with any type of history, I question it. I'm going to research it, and I will find the truth. So based on what has been taught, chess started around 601 AD, the 7th century. Okay, by possibly, they say here, likely ancestor of the Eastern strategy game, Chinese chess, everywhere it's pronounced, Korean chess, and Japanese chess, okay? So they always want to attribute everything to someone else, okay? They always want to say that they whited out history. They changed history, totally, completely changed history. And so same thing here with chess, no exceptions. But actually, as Dr. Cornel West said in the song America, they kidnapped our language, they changed our name, they changed our history. We don't know anything except for what we teach ourselves, pretty much. So actually, the truth of the matter is that it came from us, chess, and you'll see, the history of from the first dynasty burials in Egypt, and before Egypt was, Kemet was, okay? And you'll see, I know you've seen pictures of, paintings in the tomb of Egyptian queens and others with a board game in front of them. This is proof. This is like 1295 to 1255 BC. Some of these are some of these photos go back to these hieroglyphics, and so they kidnapped us. They talk about looting. Oh my God, we're not going to tolerate looting, but they're looting our lives. And but this game dates back to around 3100 BC, and the as I said, Egyptian Kemet, us. It comes from us, and so with that said, I'm going to turn it over to. Here again, feel free to press 1 as Mr. Orrin talks. I want you to come on out, Orrin, Checkmate Hudson, and tell us more about you, about the game, how, what your philosophy is, and the game of chess in relationship to community growth and development. Mr. Orrin Hudson.
Thank you so much. Dr. Lee, can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
Am I muted?
Yes.
You can't hear me?
No. We can hear you. We can hear you. Fine. Yes.
All right. Okay. Like I say, thank you for the wonderful introduction. I get a kick out of serving the community and teaching children how to make the next move, the best move. So, Dr. Lee, thank you for inviting me. But as a former state trooper, Air Force veteran, and founder of Be Someone, I am committed, and a father of 7 children, I am committed to teaching my 4 black sons how to make their next move their best move. And I just want to say to everyone that's listening that my main formula is to be kind and be nice, and everyone you meet is your teacher. Everyone you meet is important. And if you treat everybody you come in contact as the most important person in the world, you'll never make a mistake again in your life. I'm not my brother's keeper. I am my brother, because we all are one. And I cannot be what I ought to be until they are what they ought to be. And we all are connected. And when we come together as one, we can achieve the extraordinary. But we got to realize that the word universe means one. One song, one verse, one soul. And the only race out there is the human race. We got to come together as one. We got to lock arms. We need all hands on deck. And we got to, all of us have to look in the mirror and say, I'm responsible. If it's to be, it's got to be me. Everybody got to do their part. If you're dealing with a black business and they do something wrong, go back to them anyway and get it fixed and fix it and work with that person. We got to come together. And I'm living my dream because it's so rewarding teaching young people how to think and how to make their next move their best move. In chess, you have all the resources you need to win the game, just like life. You have your mind, you have your ability, you have your talents, and you have time. But the opposite of wealth is not poor. The opposite of wealth is mismanagement of resources, overlooked resources, undeveloped resources. Poor is just a reflection of how you use your resources. Did you overlook something? Did you mismanage something? Did you underdevelop something? Oftentimes we overlook the resources that we have. We have everything we need to win the game. Don't play the blame game. Play to win. And in chess, it's about recognizing patterns. Pattern recognition is the key to success in all fields. Once you know the pattern, you can plan, you can prepare, you can position, you can predict, you can pace, you can just, there's so many P's that you can do once you get the pattern. You'll have pause, you'll have patience, you'll be able to predict, you'll be able to prepare, you'll be able to see what's going on, but you got to know that pattern. And the main pattern I want to share with you guys tonight, and it's what I'm all about, is the main pattern you need to learn is that you got to give to get. And here's the formula. Give to give, not to get, because what you give will come back multiplied. There's a song out by the Average White Band called A Love of Your Own. And in the song it says, the sooner you give, the sooner you get to have. The longer it takes, the better you become. So be willing to stay the course. Stay with it. Keep the faith. Do the right thing. If you make the right move, you will get the right results. Some moves you can make, you can't recover from. Some moves you can make, you can recover from. So don't do the first thing that pops in your head. Your first crack could be a whack, and you can't take it back. So think before you act. Let me say that again. Don't do the first thing that pops in your head. Here's why. The first thing that pops in your head is usually a trap. So here's the formula. Don't do the first thing that pops in your head. The first thing that pops in your head, is usually a trap. And so don't do the first thing that pops in your head. You got to think it through. And that's how people fail in life. Because there's cause and effect. You make a move, and there's going to be a cascade of consequences going to come behind. Now, you don't get determined the consequence once you make the move. So think it through. Don't do the first thing that pops in your head. Your first crack could be a whack, and you can't take it back. So before you act, because all moves matter. All moves matter. Life is movement. Movement is life. Nothing happens until something moves. If you want to be successful, you got to make good moves. And sometimes you want to be successful, you got to make boss moves. Boss moves is you got to step out on faith. I like what Charles Stanley said. He said, obey God and leave all the consequences to him. To be successful, oftentimes you have to make what we call sacrifices. And sacrifices mean you got to give up something good for something greater later on. You got to step out there. If you're trying to play it safe, you're not going to never be successful, because success is a faith walk. The guy said, well, Orrin, I'll do it when I see my way clear. I said, that's not faith. Faith is when you can't see. You got to step out there. You got to make some bold moves. Like I said earlier, nothing takes place until something moves. Movement is life. And you got to make your next move your best move. Like getting around people that can see stuff you can't do, see stuff you can't see. If you're the smartest person on your team, you need to improve your team. You got to get around people who can see things that you can't see. And you got to bounce stuff off of people. Surround yourself around people. Be a giver, not a taker, because what you give will come back multiplied. So my main thing that I focus on is the person who outgives the competition will beat the competition. You got to constantly be figuring out, okay, what can I do? How can I serve? How can I serve people more than anyone else? When you serve people or you go above and beyond the call of duty, good things happen. It's not about me. It's about we. And you got to constantly figure out ways how you can serve, how you can treat people, and how you can make your next move your best move. I was playing a doctor not long ago, and in chess, the queen is the most powerful piece on the board. And I'm playing this doctor, and he's real, real good, and he traps my queen. Now, in chess, the queen is the most powerful piece on the board. And even though he trapped, but you don't have to have the queen to win the game. So even though he trapped my queen and took my queen, I kept going. I didn't give up, stay in the game. The biggest mistake you ever can do your entire life is to give up. Even though he trapped my queen, I kept pushing, and I won the game. I won the game without my queen. Teachable moment. Sometimes your strongest, your greatest resources you will lose, but you got to have faith, you got to keep pushing, and you got to stay with it. Why? Because the biggest mistake you ever can do your entire life is to give up. So never give up and stay in the game and work with what you got left. Work with what you got. The word poor stands for passing over opportunity repeatedly, and oftentimes people pass over opportunities and they give up. They say, well, I lost my queen, I'm going to give up. No, you got to stay with it and figure it out. Stay there until you think your way through. I owe my life to a teacher who taught me when I was in the 9th grade how to play chess. At this time, I was in and out of foster home, and I was making bad choices. And he said, listen, I'm going to teach you chess. I said, I don't want to learn chess. I'm a checker guru. He said, checkers are using half of the board. I'm going to show you how to use every single square on the board. So chess is you using all the board. Checkers are using half of the board. And that's what if you want to be successful, you got to use all your resources. You have to surround yourself around people who can elevate your game. Surround yourself around people who can see things that you can't see so you can be the champion that God created you to be. And I'll take any questions or anything you want to ask me.
Okay, that is so very, very, very awesome. Questions, comments out there. Just come on in. Tap your number 1 and come on in. What I'd like to ask is there's so many different demands. I wanted to know in relation to the demands that are being made following the justice in the name of George Floyd. There are a lot of things that are happening, and different types of demand. Like one of them is how that they're asking for a defunding of the police force, and it's actually happening in some cities, particularly in Minneapolis. The organizers are already building tools for safety without police. Now, Orrin, how do I want to form this? How do we apply? Or what would you say would be one of the first moves that we would apply for adapting or being a positive part of this change? Because there's so many people now. Personally, I know that we need to defund the police department because of the multi-millions of dollars that has been put into the militia, the military part of it. So that does our communities absolutely no good. So monies are going into programs there are some people who are opposed to this move. How do you say we should make this move? Or what?
Well, here's my thoughts. Here's my POV, my point of view. We don't need to defund the police department. We need to make sure that we're maximizing the police department and getting the maximum result. Like I said earlier, the opposite of wealth is not poor. The opposite of wealth is mismanagement, overlooked, and underdeveloped resources. Some people you can give, like my mom, you could give my mom $10. My mom could do more with $10 than you could do with $1 million, because that's how she rolled. And I learned this the hard way. My mom called me one day. She said, "Orin, I have a bag of ties for you." And I said, "Mom, I'm a grown man. I buy my own ties." And I never forget, I went to the Galleria in Birmingham, Alabama to buy me some ties. And I looked at the tie that I liked, and it was $95. And I looked at the tie, and I go, "Wait, let me call I said, Mom, I'll take those bag of ties." So I told my mom about all that, but when I saw the price of those ties, I was like, okay, I'll take those bag of ties. My mom had 1,000 ties in a bag that she bought at a sale, probably for $10. So that's what I'm saying. My mom was able to work with little. She can do more with little than a lot of people can do a lot. And so I don't think we need to defund the police. The police is important, because if someone break in your house or someone hurt someone of yours, you want them to do it. And here's the thing. Don't get it twisted. There are a lot of good police officers, a lot. I've been stopped by a lot of white officers, and they are nice. So it's only a few bad people in the world, but they move around a lot. And so let's keep the main thing the main thing. Let's focus on the main thing. The main thing is let's put our trust in God. Let's obey all laws. Let's be nice to the police officers to stop us, and God is going to work it all out. You know, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. Just keep the faith, and it don't matter what Pharaoh do. Pharaoh's army was well dressed. Pharaoh's army had plenty of bread. Pharaoh's army had excellent transportation. But it didn't matter. He's not going to be able to outdo what God's going to do. So what we got to do is just keep the faith, trust God, and it's going to be all right. Everything's going to be all right.
Okay, questions and comments on that. I mean, I could say a whole lot. I want to hear from you guys out there. Mr. Cannon, I know you've got some thoughts on this. Hello?
Yes,
Mr. Cannon.
Hi, this is Annetta. I don't know if was I next in the line? I know there's several people that are trying to get in. I have a question relative to what you're saying, Orrin. Okay, so I respect, my husband's a retired sheriff also, and my previous relationship in marriage, I was married to a peace officer. I get it, but with that group of horrible mentally challenged officers that do take on the position. We've got young men, our young men specifically. I know it happens across the board, but we're speaking specifically on the African-American young man. Personally, I have sons also, and I know that you're saying be nice, be kind, but it's not necessarily that approach. I think the reform component may appeal more to a person like myself as a mother of sons and grandsons based on the way that it's been approached. So I think I've been pulled over and literally been challenged to almost have to be arrested because I don't know what I've done. So I know respectfully that we've been taught and trained, and I'm a very respectful person. So I'm saying in light of that, I think the question that I was looking for, and I appreciate and respect your change that, I'm just saying on the flip side of that, how do you approach an unreformed police department that will still take the higher position of the badge and use that in a negative way, which they have in so many areas, I believe, based on what was stimulated 400 years ago plus when slavery was, introduced in this country. So I would like to see what your thought is. I'm playing that chess game with you. I am a queen, and I want to win this game, but I also want to win so that my soldiers, my sons and grandsons, have a chance without defying the law to win.
Well, I think we gotta put our trust in God, right? And we got to be not weary in our well doing, for in due season. Well, we shall reap if we don't give up, we don't look back, and we keep moving forward. So the main thing is, yes, you're gonna have a few bad officers. Let's say I get stopped by a bad officer, and I'm just gonna be extremely nice. Now, believe it or not, if you're nice, you can turn a bad cop into a good cop. I'm just telling you that when you smile at someone, they're forced to smile back. And so all I'm saying, yes, you're going to have some pharaohs out there who's going to try to kill you. I get it. But it don't matter. Pharaoh is not going to be able to do no more than God let him do. So look at Pharaoh. He's coming out the mold. But so all we got to do, we got to stay grounded, and we got to make our next move our best move. We can't fight the police, and we can't, we just got to comply with. I tell my 4 sons, come home alive. I need you to come home alive. I'll deal with it later, but I don't need you to try your case out there on the streets. We just got to be cool. We got to be calm, and we got to put our trust in the Lord. Don't trust man. Man is not capable of delivering. Put your trust in God. So here's a quote for you. Write this down. It's very powerful. In God we trust. All others must be polygraphed, vetted, and constantly placed under surveillance. In God we trust. Man or woman is not capable of delivering. Yeah, you're gonna have a few bad apples, but we got to stay in the Word. We got to be not weary and well doing. We still got to make our next move our best move, because people gonna do some things to you because they know not what they do. But you still got to keep the faith, and you still got to put God first, because man is not capable of protecting us or doing anything for us. The only somebody can help us is God. And if we come together as one, we can achieve the extraordinary. But there are a lot of good people out there. There's only a few bad people, but they move around a lot.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Anetta. We have another question or comment. Go ahead, caller.
Ashley, blessings. Good evening. My name is Empress Lee Hong, and I'm calling from San Diego, California. I definitely agree with the brother that definitely brought God to the forefront. If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves, turn from their wicked ways and seek my face, then will I hear from heaven and heal the land. That's number one. Number two, prayer is always the answer. And just as he said, Pharaoh, the same Pharaoh that was here over 400 years ago, he was here during Moses' time. He's going to be here until Jesus returns. Racism is a heart issue. It's always the matter of the heart. So until the heart changes, Congress can enact any kind of law they want. But until the heart changes, you're going to always have racism, hatred, and evil. But even in the face of hatred, we've got to keep God at the forefront. And like the brother said, there's a lot. It's always the few rotten ones, that makes it hard for the good ones. And let me just end with this. Let me just put this on you guys' mind, for you to digest, swallow, and regurgitate. If black lives really matter, those 18 black men that died in Chicago, I believe it's either in a week or a month time, there should have been trolls of black folks marching in the streets in Chicago, because we kill each other at alarming rates all day, every day, over foolishness and nonsense. We do that. So if we keep killing each other and don't care about each other's own blood, why should they? Why should they? So we've got to get our villages in order. And then let me say this. Sisters, village mothers and daughters, can you stop tearing down the village fathers and sons? Please, please. It's bad enough that they have to deal with everything out there and come home and got to deal with the mouth of a black woman. So we've got to learn to uphold the black men, the black sons and black brothers, and show them that, no, we value our men. Just like y'all value yours, we value ours. I appreciate it. God bless. Keep God first. Thank you.
And
Thank
that's
you
why
so
I
much.
said,
I appreciate it.
Dr. Lee, that's why I said, if you dealing with a black business and they do you wrong, Go back to them and say, listen, you did me wrong, but you know what? We gonna work this thing out. Let's help each other. Let's come together. Come together. Let's come together as one. And I like what she said. It's 18, 19 people killed in Chicago. Ain't nobody said a word. Come on now. If Black lives really matter, let's step our game up. Let's love on each other. Find a black business, go to them, buy something from them, and do not ask for a discount. Serve people.
Okay, now.
Give people value.
Okay. I get it. I agree with everything that all of you have said, and now I gotta come in here and let you know how I feel. And this is not discrediting anything that has been said, okay? But now, I'm a black woman, okay? I raised my children by myself. And I raised a lawyer and I raised an engineer. Here I am with adult children. I live by myself. Do you think one time that I will call the police department? No. For an emergency. Do I feel comfortable calling the police department? Do I believe in God? Yes, I do. I do believe in God 100,000%. But I do believe that God gave us a brain. Now, and I'm not trying to listen. Don't take none of y'all take this the wrong way. I'm just telling you my perspective and what I truly believe. Now, as a black woman, we look at history. Our black men have been damned from the ship coming over here. Okay, the black woman has had to bear the consequences. I mean, we had to watch our men be beat, stripped of their manhood, raped. I'm talking about history now. I'm talking about history. Raped. Our men and our black nation has been brainwashed. Our language was taken away from us. Okay? So that's why we speak Ebonics. They call it Ebonics today, okay? Because, first of all, there are certain words that I can't even say because it's not my native tongue in the first place. My tongue was taken away from me. And, yes, we are to believe in God and trust God, but what kind of God is going to let us be raped? Okay? When you have a full confidence and trust in God and praying and listen, hey, I've been a Christian, a devout Christian, for more than 50 years. For more than 50 years. When I was a teenager, I gave my life to God. And I've said it more than one time. The church to me, it's a difference in what God has called us to do and what that white man called us to do when he handed us the Bible and then gave us the interpretation of the Bible and then told us which scriptures to apply to our lives of the Bible, and we're still doing that today. I take issue with that. Like in the Bible, there were wars. The black people, even to where we are today, the Hebrews, yes, they prayed, they had to follow what God say do in order to come out of Egypt. Yes. That God uses people. See, this is the problem I have when we say let God, let go and let God. Like let go and let God do what? God has He told us, He gave us dominion over the earth. He gave us dominion. He gave us power. He gave us authority. And then he said, okay, are you going to let the strong man come in and destroy your house? You're going to let the strong man, you're going to let another man come in and destroy, strong arm your house, kill your wife and your kids. That's what's technically going on. Then we talk about the crime that's going on in our community, in our black community. You know what? They're the ones who brought the drugs in. They brought the drugs. They brought the weapons. They dropped off weapons, just like during the protest. They were bringing bricks, piling up bricks. Peaceful protesters to go to the protest, go to the march or whatever, and bricks all piled up. And then how many of them have been arrested for the violence? Yeah, I agree. Yeah, we got too much black-on-black crime. But who did it? Who created it? It's not like it came from us. Everything that we're dealing with, everything we're going with came from them, from this racist society. So therefore, I do believe, and not only that, the police was created, was organized, was structured to chase and capture slaves. Okay, that's what I'm going to say right now. I think we got some more callers. And let's see. Okay, let's see. What do we got any callers, Jason? We got any questions out there? Hello?
No comments right now at this second.
Oh, okay, no comments.
I think Dr. Cannon wanted to
Dr.
chime in.
Cannon, come on in, Dr. Cannon. Dr. Cannon, is this line open?
Yeah, he's open. Well, while we're waiting,
I appreciate you. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
can you hear
we
me?
can hear you. Yes, we
Beautiful.
can.
Listen, y'all, I appreciate this. This is outstanding conversation. You know, I've got a connection with my brother. He's got 4 sons, and I've got 5 sons, which is extremely valuable at this time. Being able to speak into the lives of young men all across this country is just extremely valuable right now, to be able to hear wisdom on the table, you know, from a man is real valuable for our young men across the country right now. You know, when we look at the fact that you have a powerful book, you have the mind of a chess player, can you talk to us for a minute about the mentality that we should have in this hour in branding a book product that we could sell and that we could market, and utilizing those tools? How did you do what you did with your book, and with the mentality of playing chess and playing to win and not get checkmated? How do you critique what we're doing as a people, marching in the street from a chess standpoint? Would you say we're marching into a winning situation, or would we be marching into a checkmate situation? So if you could critique those 2 things, I would appreciate it. Whether or not we're marching into a checkmated situation with how we're moving, and then branding of a book product like your #1 bestseller. Can you talk to us how powerful that is for a family or person to get a product?
Well, let me just say this. This is what I'm going to share with you guys is very powerful. The best move on the board looks like a bad move. Just let that soak in. Let's park right. I'm gonna park right here a minute. In it, you know, sometimes during a chess match, you got to give your queen away. Magnus Carlsen 2 years ago, maybe 2.5 years ago. I was in New York when this happened. He made a move on the board that shocked everybody. He took his queen and set it in front of a pawn and a king, and the guy could take the queen for absolutely free. He didn't get anything for it, and people thought he was crazy. But that move won $1 million. And so the point I'm trying to make to you is we're marching toward a checkmate because we doing things what what looks like a good move is not a good move. What looks like a bad is life is a paradox. Paradox means it's the opposite what you think. You think if I give, I lose. If I do it peacefully, I don't win. Yes, do it peacefully. Be kind. It's going to win. Because some people will come to you and say, wait a minute, let's violate, let's kill Moses. No, we're not doing none of that. Come to you and say, let's blame Moses for this. He's the reason we out here. Pharaoh's going to get us. The Red Sea there. Then I got to go by Red. No, you walking by sight. And the winning move when you walking by faith is a paradox. Paradox means it's the opposite what you think. Paradox means it's bizarre. To win in life and in chess, you got to make moves that are bizarre. The only reason the Philadelphia Eagles beat the New England Patriots is because the Philadelphia Eagles did something that was bizarre. They lined the quarterback up, and then they took him off and walked him down to the end. The defense said, what the world's going on? The winning move is a crazy move. It's a bizarre move. So, yes, we got to change the game. We need leadership. We don't have nobody black leadership. Go, wait a minute. No, we're not doing none of this. And so here's what I would say. We're going to march, and if you see somebody out of line, report them to us. You get we're going to pay you to let us know if somebody's out of line. We don't need this nonsense. We got to have some leaders saying, look, we're going to do this the right way. We ain't burning down no buildings. We ain't doing that. And if we catch somebody doing something, there's going to be some reward money for that. Get a picture, get that person, and we going to get something done about that. We going to do this the right way. And if we do it the right way, we got God on our side. And one person plus God is a majority.
Imagine if
my message is this. Don't do the first thing that pops in your head. The first thing that pops in your head is to kill Moses. Blame Moses for this. He's the reason we out here. Let's kill Moses. No, we're not doing none of that. And so here's what you got to do. Create you a stop doing list. Stop taking the easy way out. Stop doing the things that look nasty. The best move on the board is a bold move. It's a faith move. You got to walk by faith. Faith is do the right thing. I know it's hard. I know it's crazy to love your enemies. But when you love your enemies and you good to your enemies, you're going to win.
No, I totally agree. Go ahead.
Right. Now, this is Jason, so I just wanted to chime in, and I'm getting what you're saying, and I'm understanding the chess moves. So we're at a space to where we're doing things like looking at reform, looking at changing these policies, looking at amending certain laws. But at the base of America is a book of law that goes against everything that we stand for as black people. We weren't considered when the Constitution was written. So when I'm looking at something bold, I'm looking at challenging the entire basis of all of these laws. I'm looking at challenging the Constitution. It's been almost 250 years since it's been written, and we've had no input besides putting laws on top of laws on top of laws that go against the original law of this land. So how do we go about implementing these new laws with the base of what we're doing that's going against and is not considering us, and it hasn't, and it never will?
It's really not about the laws. Like you said earlier, it's a hard issue. It's all good. God law is the only law that matters. And I'm just telling you, brother, everything's gonna be all right. There's a silver light. There's a song called "What Faith Can Do." It said, no matter what happens, there's a silver lining, and you can't panic. It looks like you look this way. You say, wait a minute, there's Pharaoh coming, and I look this way at the Red Sea. No. Just take a deep breath, and just God is still on the throne, brother. Be not weary, because God's got this. We gonna be just fine.
There's a mother out here that had 4 kids just like you, and now she's down to 3. And I don't think that church is supporting her feelings, and I don't think she's going to see that silver lining. And so at that point, what do you tell that mother or that father?
I tell her mother to keep the faith, that God is God. You know, God allowed it to happen, so it's all good. You know, it's absent with the body is present with the Lord, and that God is going to make it up to you. Let me give me an example. Job lost his children. Job lost everything, and God gave it all back. But Job didn't panic out and cuss God out. We ain't doing none of that. We're going to stay cool. We're going to stay calm. We're going to stay collected, because God, being a God of justice, will not let evil win over good. Just keep the faith. Somehow or another, God, being a God of justice, will not let evil win over good. You don't have to worry about what Pharaoh trying to do. It ain't going to work. He going to try, but it ain't, because God is going to make it up. God gave Job double for his trouble. And you say, well, he gave him his children back. What about the other? His other kid was in heaven, so he got double on them. So just keep the faith. It's all good in the neighborhood.
Can I jump in too here? What was really valuable as we trust in God is to be able to understand that directs us towards family. So once we identify what God is saying for us to do in this hour, if we're playing a chess mentality, then we're playing to win. That means we got to pay attention to what's going on. Every move, we got to pay attention, y'all, because the opponent is playing to win and to put us in a checkmate situation. So we got to bring our families in a little closer. We got to forgive and talk and love and build strength within your family right now. When you see supermarkets shutting down and stores and churches closing and we don't know, this is the time not to disconnect, but it's time to connect. See where our strengths are. If you got a business, if you got a book idea, I say put it together with your family and then produce that book and put it out there and change your finances, y'all. Because if we're talking biblical, if you remember Joseph, there were 7 years of plenty and 7 years of famine. And they had to do wisely in those years of plenty to get ready for those years of famine. If you remember those spies on top of the hill, it was 12 of them. 10 went down. 8 came back saying that we be not able. The other one said, we'll be able, let's go down at once. There's milk and honey down there. So in this hour, y'all, this is the greatest transfer of wealth in history that's going on right now while we're fighting in the streets. They're changing the economics of our money based on the blockchain. And we've got to be paying attention and make sure our family's paying attention, because if you invest wrong with the little bit that you got right now, if you don't put your pennies and your nickels and your dimes and your dollars together with your family, y'all, what they say is waste makes want. So if you waste what you got right now, the end result is that you're going to end up wanting. This is the time to be wise. This is the time to pull your resources together, to love on your family, y'all, and build together. That's the hour. Write a book together. Sir, you said your book is a bestseller. What do you think about us people writing a book in this hour?
Right. Yeah, I love it. I mean, teamwork makes the dream work. It's a lot of things that we can do together, and I'm willing to share things with people, but here's the key. If you serve people and you go out of your way, you're going to win in the end, and that's the bottom line. Absolutely. It's a paradox. It looks crazy to do some things, but it's all about going above and beyond the call of duty, writing. Here's an idea for everybody. When you come up with a good idea, create a folder on your computer and write it down. And every time you come on, write it down. And that way you'll have a plethora of things that you can pull on from time to time, and you can lean on what you've already written, and you can create your book. I created a book by going above and beyond the call of duty, And it took me 20 years to put it together, but I put this idea there, and then I put all together. Next thing you know, I've been invited by Disney to do some work for the Queen of Cartway, the movie. Next thing you know, Tom Joyner called. Next thing you know, I've got a call from Steve Harvey. You're going to get these calls once you add value. The key to success is give the person who outgives the competition beats the competition. Give people more value than anyone else. And when you go the extra mile, there's never any traffic jam. And when you go the extra mile, you will win every time. But most people want to do the bare minimum. When someone hire me to do something, I do so much, they go, oh, my God, we going to call you back. I'm going to always get called back because I'm going to do 100 times more than anybody else. And that's how we got to win. You win the game by serving people. I've trained over 75,000 children. I've done more free events than anybody on the planet. I take pride in giving back and serving other people. Why? Because when they win, I win. And it's not over until they win.
Oh.
Yeah, I totally agree with with the giving. That's one thing that I've always done was giving way more than whatever was paid for. But God does reward. Look, what you sow, you're definitely going to reap. And I'm truly a witness of that. And I do believe in everything that you said and everything that everyone said. But I still believe. We have a question? Go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to ask one other question too, because I think you said you were in the National Guard, sir.
No, sir. I was a state trooper. Air Force. I went in the National Guard.
Air Force. Beautiful. My question then is, if you were speaking to young men and explaining honor, duty, and country, explaining to them honor, duty, and country and what that means in a time where we're confused about the flag, we're confused about the national anthem, but still understanding honor, duty, and country, what does that mean, sir?
I mean loving your neighbor as yourself. Treat everyone like it's you, and you'll never make a mistake in your life. I was a state trooper that had the blue light, the badge, the bulletproof vest. I stopped a white guy that was running real fast, and I gave him a discount so that the judge would not lock him up. Because the judge, if you go at a certain speed over, the judge want to see you. She want your car impounded and all that. I had mercy on the guy and fixed it where he can just mail the payment in. He said, you know what? He said, Officer Hudson, I used to hate black people, but not anymore. I said, what made the difference? He said, the way you treated me. So be the change you want to see. Create so much value for people that they have a different paradigm and go, you know what? Wow, if you want to do honor, you want duty, you got to start with your neighbor. You got to love your neighbor as yourself, and you got to treat people better than you want to be treated. And if you give and you put it out there, it will come back multiplied. If you want honor, you want duty, you want to love your country, start with your neighbor. Don't worry about who's in the White House. Worry about who's in your house.
Okay. So, and I agree with that. However, I'm making it personal now, okay? And I have to, because all of my beliefs have been developed from life incidences. I truly believe in utilizing all resources. Like that move, we have to do. This is why I am so adamant about and we got a comment that I got to go to, but I want to say this first. This is why I'm so adamant about the collaborations, the Neighborhood Commerce Institute and the collaborations, because together is how we bring about a change. It was together that the children of Israel were able to go to take the wealth, go through the Red Sea. It was together that is together on one accord that the white races are keeping us suppressed. And I know a lot of people don't feel that way or whatever, but I can't help but to go back to my father and my life, my own personal life experiences, and relate my losses in my own personal family has been 7 young black men, 7 killed by violence. So I understand and relate and know that feeling. I know the pain. I've cried. I still cry today, knowing that we were set up. So, see, y'all believe in the Bible. I believe that after them 400 years, God gonna come in and do something. And I do believe that God is doing something right now. But there are still things that we also have to do. God work through people. God isn't going to walk down through here and now miraculously, yes, sometimes it does happen. Supernaturally, as they call it, yes, it sometimes does happen. And I know that for a fact that it's happened. I've even experienced supernatural intervention in my family. But I do believe that God gave us a brain. He created us the same as He created the universe. Individually, our anatomy mirrors the universe, which is a system. And then He created us in His image, spiritually. And then He gave us dominion. And then He gave us, we are the kingdom. We're supposed to be like kingdom leaders right now. But I do not believe that it is based on the interpretation of various different scriptures, like obey those who have rule over you. Do you know how many women that got raped over obey those who have rule over you? Do you know how many men have been raped by that? Turn your cheek. Hey, what is the interpretation of that? So, and how many people have been beat? I take issue because I have a son. I have grandsons. I have nephews. I have nephews who are in their grade today. I know the pain. Just thinking about it, some days, I weep, cry myself to sleep. I hurt, I pain. So I do believe that there comes a time, just like with the Civil Wars and with the slaves standing up, we would not have any of the freedom that we have right now. Racism is still alive and well. We would not have any of the freedoms that we think that we have. We've got no freedom, really, that we think that we have if it weren't for the slaves who decided, I'd rather die than to continue this way. I'd rather die. I'd rather take a chance and take my wife and my kids and run through these woods with swamps, alligators, than to see another one of my loved ones, babies, infants, 2, 3, 4 months old, being fed to an alligator for bait. I feel that that's what's happening to us right now. I believe that, yes, we are supposed to utilize all of our resources as human beings and stand up. I've been in board rooms with these white people in 500 Fortune 500 companies, and you guys have heard me say this more than once, where they pretended like I didn't exist while they planned to redline our community. community, while they planned to make sure that we didn't get money in our hands, while they planted the Arab liquor stores and the Chinese, while they organized and structured the Chinese hair stores and funded them. And right now, even today, we got this PPP, the payroll protection plan through the stimulus, and they're not giving the black people no money. What are we supposed to do? Just, we just got to leave it to God? No, we do have to do something. So neighborhood commerce is about doing something. It's about demanding our damn money. That's what it's about. It's about, I'm sick and tired of you white people sitting in this boardroom and planning me out of the funding. I'm fed up with that. I've done it for 40 years. I'm not doing it no more. But as a people, we do have to come together of one accord and make it happen. We can't just sit up and wait on God. And we got so many comments, so I'm going to have to shut up. But anyway, here's one here that she said, or he, I don't know who. It says, always black people are expected to accommodate bigotry, cure racism. We're supposed to magically rise above it instead of stripping it bare and calling out its practitioners and enablers. Just as foundational as racism itself is, the corrosive belief that the burden of its eradication lays on the weary shoulders of those directly maligned by it. Whatever is thrown at us, black people are charged with having guts enough not to fight back, to rise above it, regardless of the emotional and psychological cost. And definitely, it is a psychological cost, an emotional cost. I understand that. So that was a comment. Who would like to respond to our audience? The lady that made this comment. Anyone. It could be another audience person. Come on.
Well, I'd like to respond. This is Mr. Cannon. Imagine if there was a building, a 35-story building that was built. It's got air conditioning. It's got business. It's got a lot of commerce going on, ingenuity, a lot of stuff going on in this 35-story building. But imagine if there was a people that wasn't included in the business. They had to stand on the side and watch. And so therefore they decided that since they're not included, then they're going to come in and tear it down and destroy it. They're not going to go in and try to assimilate, even though they wasn't included in building it. They wasn't included in the blueprint. But now that it's up and it's thriving, they have an opportunity to go in and assimilate and learn and grow, or they have an opportunity to go in and totally demolish and destroy that building. Now, the thing is, if they go in and destroy and demolish the building and that whole commerce, we have no problem with that. If they got a plan to rebuild something better and more outstanding and more inclusive of everybody. Tear it down if you got something better. But if you don't have anything better and you tear it down, then it may stay vacant for the next 100 years. Now, we got to ask ourselves, do we want to be inclusive to the point where we're willing to help change what's already been built, or do we want to destroy it with no plans of rebuilding something better. And so in playing chess here, if from a chess standpoint, a chess mind, since we have a chess master, if we tear it down and destroy it and don't have a plan to rebuild something better with air condition, with all the beauties and all the niceties of what was already built, we might find ourselves in a checkmate that will put us worse condition than we are in now because we had no plan to rebuild when we destroyed.
Okay, Orrin, go ahead. Respond to that, please.
Well, like I said earlier, we if we see somebody that we got to police each other. If we see somebody out of line, we gonna call them out because silence gives consent. I tell my children, I have 3 girls and 4 boys. I have 7 children, and I tell my black boys, I said, listen, if something go down, you be kind, and then get me involved. But I need you to come home alive. If you try to solve your case out there doing something stupid, then that's on you. Don't call me if you did something stupid. Just if you get pulled over, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, and everything. Be kind, and then we'll go from there.
Right.
But I feel the main thought is that God, being a God of just, is not going to let evil win over good. Bad things happen to good people, but in the end, God works it out.
At the end of the day, I agree. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because look at Job. He lost a lot, but it works itself out. But I'm not saying, I'm not, they came to Jesus and Jesus said, Jesus, he hit me, let's hit back. Jesus said, no, Jesus said, wait a minute. They said, Jesus, this guy hit me, so hit back. Jesus said, no, we ain't doing that no more. He said, Moses has lost his mind on that one. He said, this is what we're going to do. We're going to love our enemies. We're going to do good for those who try to harm us because God is going to work it out. But when you be kind to people, like I was, one of my employees went to the store the other day, and she said, the lady's being mean to me. I said, be nice to her. Just be nice. And she said, Orrin, thank you, because at the end, she gave me all kind of free stuff in it because she overcame badness with good.
That's true.
I said, smile at her.
That's true.
She ended up smiling at her, and the woman gave her all kind of free stuff. So you only have to pay. It went from being bad to good. So that's how you win. You win the game of life by being kind and let God. It's a heart problem, and when your heart is right and you love people, it works out. That's why I say if you have a black business that's doing you wrong, go back to them and make it right. Say, listen, I'm gonna support you anyway, but here's what we need to work on, because we got to come together and help each other. And if black lives really matter, it starts at home.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. We got a question. Jason, go ahead and connect the question or comment. Jason, we got a new comment.
Yeah, we do. Go ahead, caller.
Am I on?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
This is Judy from Woodbridge. I was listening to all of everyone, but I understand what the gentleman is saying about God will work it out and treat kindness. Kindness will like you say will cast out all wrath and all this. I believe that because I'm a Christian also. But he has to understand what you're working with these young people. Most of these young people don't, they were not raised up in the church. And this is the problem now, that we don't have the things that need for them to be, to know God. So they react. They have so much pent up anger and so much pent up about anything. Because if the fire didn't started where George Floyd, they didn't start burning things down and doing things, nobody would have heard them. This is how they feel, So we cannot say, to tell them about God right now because they never knew God. There's no one to introduce them to God. This is the type of things that they need in the neighborhood. They need to find out, and there's parents that probably did not know God. So this is all that they know. You see what I'm saying? So they are not where he is right now. It takes time for people to get where he is. You know what I'm saying? Because he said he has 7 children, and they are, of course, you are teaching them about God. But how about these other young men and women out here that's not being taught about God? All they know is, this is how I know how to express myself. And things has been happening up and pent up so long that now it's just an outburst, And if this didn't happen, them doing what they did, I mean, all of this would have never came down. It would have never happened because, everybody's saying, just wait, it'll take care of itself, and just wait. And for years, at my age, I can't do that. I can't get out there and protest away like that. I mean, I probably can, but I'm just saying, I trust in God. So I pray for them now. I pray for the protesters that everything, would work out right. But, like God said, faith without works, is dead. You know what I'm
Dr.
saying?
Lee,
So I listened to what Miss Mary said, where she said, that people are just getting tired of all of this stuff that's going on, and they are just rebellious, on it. And we cannot. Wow, maybe they should do this and maybe they should do that because they're not where we are right now.
Dr. Lee,
so I don't want to take up too much of the time, but I just I'm sorry.
Can
no,
I?
go ahead, Judith. Go ahead, because I know you've been trying for many, many weeks to get in. So you take your. Go ahead.
Yes.
Say what you got to say, sister.
I have been. I was so surprised that I got through tonight. But, this is such a wonderful topic, and like I said, we just can't say, don't tear this down, don't tear and build up this. Right now, these young people are not thinking about that. They are thinking about, you're killing my people, you're killing the black people, and we are not going for it anymore. You know what I'm saying? So they are hurting. These people are hurting. Just like you said, the guns. Who brings the guns into the black neighborhood? Who brings the drugs into the black neighborhood? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we're not educated to say, you know what, don't bring that in here. We're not going to do that. They figure this is a way, we don't have anything, and this is the way we can get something. So this is what we're going to do to get it, regardless who bring it in here. And that's the reason why they're killing each other, because they are competing against each other. Or you have more than me, you have more guns than me, or you have more drugs than me. And that's what they let loose in the neighborhood. So this is what
Dr. Lee?
This is all that they know.
Yes.
Dr. Lee? Dr. Lee?
Dr. Lee?
Yes.
There's some children.
Okay, yes. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Judith. Go ahead,
Dr. Lee?
Dr. Cannon, yes? Go ahead.
I want to speak to that. And I want to speak to that so strongly. And I appreciate my sister for calling in. I have a book called Help My Son Has Lost His Mind. It talks about what a parent should do when our children start listening to peer pressure. Our children start listening to knucklehead kids at school and start following them. They get into mob groups and they start doing knucklehead stuff, and their parents have to go down to the police station and bail them out. At this time right now, when you say, if your child wasn't raised in the church, you need to get your child in a church right now, in a Sunday school where they've got good men in that church that will help mentor your son. Good women in your church will tell your daughters to keep their legs closed and don't run off with every boy on the football team. If mama can't tell you at home, then you better If your child wasn't raised in the church, that's not an excuse, because there's too many churches on every corner across this nation. One of the problems that the thing that kept us from burning this nation down with all the hell that was thrown at us as a people is the churches. The churches in the community across this nation, whether you like them or not, the black churches have kept us from.
But they're not going to the churches. Her point was that they're not.
So therefore, my point is simply this. My point is simply this: you got to get your child in a church where you got good people. There's people, men and women, that will help mentor your children. That's the reason right now our children are in the street burning down stuff with cameras on them. They got up-close cameras on these kids that's burning down stuff. And you know what? Your son and daughter that's going in there to get stuff right now, they're going to be locked up with 5 to 10 years. Haven't we learned that already? They've got the key to the cells. They will lock our kids up for 50 or 60 years and throw the keys away. Mamas, don't send your kids into the street telling them to go burn down stuff and to get stuff and get what you didn't have. That's a foolish move, y'all. You're going to get put in checkmate. Your child's going to get shot, killed. Right, what the brother was saying, we got to bring love back, y'all. I'm doing a show tonight right after this one, 8:30. You can tune into that show. We talking about Black Lives Matter or Stop Hating. Black Lives Matter or Stop Hating. You can call into that show 515-605-9876. That's at 8:30. And let's talk deep on this. Don't send your children into the streets. They've got cameras out there, y'all. They're passing laws to lock our kids up. People running in the streets and they don't realize you're gonna have some federal cases coming down on y'all because you ran in there and stole some stuff and somebody got killed. Now you got a homicide. Mama, a good daddy would say to his son, "We going to church. We're going to go to Sunday school, we're going to go to brotherhood meeting, and we're going to talk. If you don't know how to handle yourself when the police stop you, there's some men in the church. There's some brothers that can help you understand you can't go word for word with a man that got a gun on his side. A mama might tell you, don't let nobody disrespect you. If they disrespect you, son, you stand up for yourself. But a daddy is going to say, son, you make it home safe. Keep your mouth quiet. You have the right to remain silent. Keep your mouth quiet and make it home safe. Don't fight out there on the street."
Yeah.
I appreciate you calling to the show tonight. 515-605-9876. It starts at 8:30. I appreciate you, Dr. Lee. It's called Stop Hating or Black Lives Matter.
Okay, thank you so very much, Mr. Cannon. We've got some more callers in the audience. Jason, will you go ahead and turn them on? Open up their lines, please, for the next question or comment. We've got like a bunch of them.
That caller. Yeah,
okay, do we have any others there?
Question. Not right now.
Okay, so I got a text in question. Let me get to it. Okay. Okay, this is a long one. If God is behind our plans, okay, everybody listen. Orrin, Dr. Tatum, I heard a word from you. Where you at? Dr. Tatum.
I'm here.
Are you there?
Yeah,
okay. I'm just trying to make sure you're still here. Annetta, you still here? Annetta?
I'm still here, Dr. Lee. Yes, I'm still with you, yeah.
Okay, I want you guys to listen to this comment or question, or I don't know if it's very long, so please listen. I know Orrin is here. Okay, so I love you all so much. I appreciate you guys so much. Everyone who knows me know how I am. So anyway, and that nothing is personal. Okay, here we go. It says, if God is behind our plans, why does God let us take the wrong direction. Isn't God supposed to equip us adequately? How do I know what God wants? Do scriptures give us specific formulas on how to deal correctly with every situation we face? Should we examine the scriptures for the answer every time we make a decision? That's a lot of questions in here. How many times we find someone like or love that person, get married, develop a distaste for that person over time, and get divorced. I did that, but actually I would never love. But anyway, why didn't God tell me the truth about them the first day we met? Why did God send that person in my life? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Why? I asked that question like, okay, why? Maybe God has nothing to do with our decision making. Things that just happen by chance. And that's really what I believe happened in my situation. Or if God has planned our entire decision making, created our blueprints, and we have no power to change anything, why should we even care? If this is the case, if we make bad decisions, we should simply blame God and hold God accountable. Okay, that makes a lot of sense to me. Okay, that was long. We have like 15, let's see how many minutes we got left. We got 16 minutes. I still got to give you the quiz so we can figure out who our winner is. Okay, who's going to chime in on that one?
Well, let me just say this. That the best move can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I don't know what happened to my stuff. I can hear you. Yeah.
What I was saying, the best move on the board looks like a bad move. Let me give you an example. There was a homeless man. He went into Burger King, and he went up to the counter, and a 16-year-old young man took his order. He said, "Young man," he said, "I'm homeless. All I have is 50 cents." He said, "Tell me what I can buy for 50 cents." And the 16-year-old kid said, "Sir, it's really nothing up there for 50 cents. He said, "Well, take your 50 cents and put it in your pocket." And he said, "I'm going to pay for your meal today." So the kid reached in his pocket, pulled his debit card out. He said, what would you like? And the man ordered a meal. And the kid swiped his debit card and paid for his meal and gave it to the homeless man. Now, a lady behind the homeless man saw this, and when the homeless man had went off, she walked up to the 16-year-old kid at Burger King, the cashier, and gave him a $100 bill. That's how life is. The winning move on the board is to take care of your neighbors, serve people, go out of your way, and miracles will happen in your life. And God give us free will, but we don't make the right move because we greed and it's about us. But if you go out of your way to take care of your neighbor, which looks like a bad move, you're gonna win every time. People don't understand it because success is a paradox. It's the opposite what you think. Now, when I told you my friend who won $1 million in New York, when he gave away the Queen for free, everybody in the audience said, "Wow, that's a bad move." No, it's not. He who gives his life up shall gain his life. Go out of your way for your neighbor, and you watch what God do for you. I can tell you how it happened in my own life. I bought this lady lunch one time. I didn't know her from Adam, but I bought her lunch. Next thing I know, the lady who I bought the lunch to, nominated me for this CNN thing. I ended up getting money behind it, got all kind of mirror just because of that. See, cause and effect. The sooner you give, the sooner you get to have. The sooner you give, the sooner you get to have. A and people don't get that. People don't understand the paradox of life. Success is a paradox. You got to give, not to get, and what you give will come back multiplied.
I believe that. I mean, I know that for a fact that you're going to reap what you sow, whether it's good or whether it's bad. I totally, truly believe that. And, I've experienced it in my own life and in my giving and reaping for so many years. And so I know that what you're saying is absolutely true. There's always a cause and an effect. And I just love how tonight has gone. I really appreciate you guys. And but I still believe that we need our, for those who don't know, our family owns a security business, and it's over 20-plus years old. And, we have operated at national level, federal level. We provide armed and unarmed security guards. We do training. We believe in protecting our community. And as I said, we've been in business over 20-plus years. But I say this to say that we have to be out there and be a part of protecting our own community, and that God has given us the ability through my brother who has been a sheriff. So we are you would say they call us officers of the court or whatever they call us. But we're part of the team to protect. And so don't think one time that I am opposed to not protect our community through police. We have my nephew is a chief of police in a city in the state of Michigan, and he has a great police force. So don't think one time that I'm against police. No, I'm not. But we have our own private conversation. And, we know what's going on up there. But, I can say that he is running a absolute great police force. And, he has white, he has black on his, who are underneath him. And I say like he's one of the nation's best. My brother, one who would take a kid home, he would take him home. He would, one of the things that he would not want to do would be to help to create a record for a young black person or a white person or anyone, period. So don't think one time that I'm against protection, because I'm not. This is our business. We provided security from the Super Bowl, to universities, to university events, to the neighborhood. Like at every level of the government, we provide security for. And I don't know. I know that is on the phone. She has an awesome program that is going to, that is awarding what we call the unsung heroes. And so, don't think one time that I'm against any of this, but I do believe 100,000% believe that we can protect our own neighborhood simply because I know what my brother can do. I know what we've done with our business over the past 21 plus years. I'm trying to think, because he worked in the he was a police officer, then he was a sheriff and all of this in the state of Michigan and Indiana. And like I said, I got a nephew who's also right now currently as we speak chief of police. And so they know what goes on the inside. Okay? So that's all I got to say. They know what goes on the inside and also agree that there should be programs and that there is absolutely too much money going into the police department that is killing us. The police department that is part of the criminal system. Okay, we got like 8 minutes. I got to give you, I know we got, do we have any questions, Jason? Do we have any more questions?
No, we don't.
Okay, so I want to give our, okay, so everybody get ready. Orrin, I love you so much. You know that already. Dr. Tatum, James Cannon, Annetta, all of my support. You know how much I love you guys. So, I just have to say I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Okay, so now, just in case, we end up, got like 8 minutes left. So everybody get ready to dial 984-244-0703. See, right now it's at $25. I don't know what people are going to give tonight, okay? But this is the question. You guys remember that game? Like it was a TV game. I should love to watch it, like with a real so-and-so, please stand up, okay? So this is kind of like what it's based on. So the question is, let me give you the phone number again. Get ready. Because the very first one who dials the number is going to win with the right question, with the right answer. You got the right answer, okay? And it's real easy. I'll say that, okay? 984-244-0703. Okay. Who are we? Remember, your $25 or whatever amount it ends up being, it's gotta be shopped at a black business. Okay. Here's the question. Here it is. Here we go. Who are we? We led Africa for 4.5 centuries. We looted their raw materials. Then we told lies that the Africans are good for nothing. In the name of religion, we destroyed out their culture. And after being made rich at their expense, we now steal, listen to this now, we steal their brains through miseducation and propaganda to prevent them from enacting black retribution against us. I'm going to read it one more time. We've led Africa for 4.5 centuries. We looted their raw materials. Then we told lies that the Africans are good for nothing. In the name of religion, we destroyed their culture. And after being made rich at their expense, We now today, steal their brains through miseducation and propaganda to prevent them from enacting black retribution against us. Who are we? Okay, the first person who texts in the correct answer will win our prize. Okay, and you will text that answer to Jason. What's that number? 984-244-0703. We've got 4 minutes. I want Orrin to come in and give us our last, wrap it up for us tonight, okay? Orrin?
Okay. Yes, ma'am, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you just fine.
I'm going to close it out with a poem. And this poem is called Be Someone. My company is called Be Someone. I came up with the name Be Someone because Abraham Lincoln, his mother, her last words on the planet for Abraham Lincoln was Be Someone. And even though Abraham Lincoln had failed many times from the public office, Abraham Lincoln took those 2 words, Be Someone, all the way to the White House and became 16th president of the United States. And so this poem is called Be Someone, and it goes like this. Being the best is a major quest. Don't get upset if you fail your first step. Try again and learn from within. Set your goals high and believe that you can. Stay focused and on track. Associate with positive people and don't look back. Believe in yourself. Think before you act. Keep a positive attitude and get all the facts. Your mind is a pearl. You can change the world. Be someone. So that's my little poem. That's my message to you. And I let people know that my name is Orrin C. Hudson. The C is for checkmate. Checkmate means you win. And it's not over until you win.
Thank you so very, very, very much. And Annette, if you're still there, please give us phone numbers. We've only got a few minutes, 3 seconds left, actually. The phone numbers and the website again. Thank you so much, Ms. Orrin. I love you so much. Thank you enough. Go ahead, Annetta. You got like
great
1 minute.
Show tonight. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Am I on? Hello? Am I on?
Yes, we're here. We can hear you.
Am I on? Okay, I'm sorry. It's Incredible. That's with the letter N, CREDIBLE, Incredible400years.com. Please go there, leave us a message. Email us. There's an info at Incredible400years.com. And you can also reach us toll free at 833-400-400-years. Okay, so go ahead and reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you and keep us posted with what you're doing in your communities as we, again, are collaborating all across the country. Thank you so much again for listening to our live podcast tonight. And if you have any additional questions, reach out to us. Thank you so much.
Ancestors. Yes. Peace to Dr. Cornel West. Yes. Peace to the movement. We came from the bottom. Ever since they got us, we've been going through these problems. 400 years behind, and it's no promise that we gon' never actually be equal, to be honest. It's messed up how they put us in chains, kidnapped our language and changed our names. But when we speak Ebonics, then they call it a shame. They leave us with a couple options, rob or slang, now we locked up again. How much can our skin take? We went from slaves to inmates, carrying the weight of the 50 states. Working your forms, black nannies carrying white babies in their arms. Black men sacrifice their lives in your wars, but you don't never show appreciation here at home. You treat us so damn wrong, you act like you hate my race. The police, they just beat us in the streets like an 808 bass. America, when will you defend my case? You never will, cause your freedom is fake. I'm only living here cause I wanna get paid enough to round up on my family and shake.
Get up, 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 get up.
They done tore down all the PJs in my barrio. Gang units for worst case scenarios. Might work till a couple of quirks. Can't call it pancake cause you're poor some syrup. It's a whole lot bigger than a pretty new house, especially when the rodent's still running about. P. Diddy running marathons, races go. That's going to the school where the tax money go. Homeland Security, now there's a phenomenon. Pacifying folks by hanging Saddam. Troops still riding, still obliging, still no Bin Laden. Tuned in waiting for the president's announcements. No 40 acres, take these 40 ounces. We ain't gonna get on the levees. Revolution televised early. Is you ready?
Why you wanna treat me so cold, America? I done gave you all that I own, America. Took me from my mama so young, America. Locked me up and gave me your name.
When you steady being forced to climb and shit and have your back heavy, be done lost your mind. Especially when you done been down for so much time. Getting up don't even really ever cross your mind. You got pawn shop, gun shop, liquor store sign, SWAT team, crack fiend, unemployed line. Stay late, dollar short, trying to buy time. What we do to survive is defined as a life of crime. You can't ball, then you force the grind. If you fall, then you cross the line. And I've been putting in work from 9 to 5 and 5 to 9. Since phone calls cost a dime. What it made me is one of the relevant, highly intelligent brothers, not only dealing with that same drug selling. If I'm a hustler, then what's more American? We all founded on the same thug heritage.
Why you wanna treat me so cold, America? I done gave you all that I own, America. Took me from my mama so young, America. Locked me up and gave me your name.
America, 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 you know the black freedom movement, constitution, moral conscience. You know we've been trying to redeem the soul of the nation, even as that nation is trying to render us soulless. But we are our soulful people